Welcome back, everyone. All right, so the biggest thing that you need to learn in this here is that you can go ahead and pass in these variables into these functions here. Okay, and I did mention this a few tutorials ago where you can actually go ahead and pass in variables. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and let's delete everything we don't need here. So we're going to go ahead and delete this here, and we're just going to type in A. Okay, and we'll go ahead and run this here, and everything works. So we got 3. And we have B here as well. So what we can do here is we can go ahead and if we type in whatever we want here, we can type in int A and then int A like this, and we go ahead and run this. Watch what happens. It'll make an error, and the reason is that this line right here. When we call this function here before, it wasn't passing it a variable. So if you pass it a variable, just like this, and all I have to do is type in the variable in there, you can see that we can now use int A in here. And so if we go ahead and we type in A, watch this, you can see that it does work. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch up the variables here. We're going to forget about B here, and we're going to type in int A main. Okay, and I'm just going to make this a little bit more clear. So we got A main, and then we're going to call this A second main. Okay, and we'll put this into A second main. Okay, so let's just walk this through here. So we have int A main is equal to 3, and I should probably put that in here as well. And let's go ahead and run it just to make sure everything's working. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the way this works is that int A main is equal to 3. Okay. Then we output the score and then A main. And then we call second main here. And second main takes in this variable here. So what are we going to pass it? We're going to pass it A main. Okay? And we're going to output A second main, because that's what it is here. We don't technically have to go, int A second main here. We don't have to declare it up there. It's already declared within there. Now, we don't necessarily have to pass in a variable here. We can just pass in a simple number. Okay, simple enough, right? So we can pass in a number. It's best now. In theory, you could do that, but it's best to do the math outside of when you call that. All right. So as you can see here, we go ahead and run that here. And what you can do is watch this. If you go A main plus 1, watch this. Okay. There we go. A main plus 1, it didn't necessarily, and let's actually go ahead and put A main in here. So watch this. Okay. So again, if you're going to do math, you have to have an equal sign. And this actually should cause a problem, but it doesn't. All right. In other places, you can get away with that, but not here. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.